is Rocket 102.5, KKCI, Goodland, Burlington, Colby, and online at nwksradio.net.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. The Trump administration giving a green light to microchip maker NVIDIA to sell advanced AI chips to China. The move is an about-face amid national security concerns, although President Trump says national security will be safeguarded, with the H200 chips from NVIDIA being sold to pre-approved customers in China. The president will address the affordability issue when he visits Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania later today. He says his economic program is starting to work with inflation way down. Later today, the Fed policymakers will open a two-day meeting at which they're expected to announce a quarter-point interest rate cut. The president has announced a $12 billion farm aid package aimed at helping producers impacted by low crop prices and higher tariffs. On Wall Street, the Dow futures 20 points higher. More details at srnnews.com.
Cold comes swiftly to Ukraine, and for elderly Jews like Olga, it can be deadly. She's 79 years old. She lives in a small village where there is no indoor plumbing, no bathroom, or reliable access to heating. And each day, she has to pump water from a well, even in sub-zero temperatures. To use the restroom, she has to walk through the bitter cold to reach an outhouse. Her meager pension is not enough to cover food, medicine, and heat. Poverty threatens to consume her life. But when all seems lost, Olga received a nourishing food box, emergency lighting, and a warm blanket. This aid is a life-saving gift for someone like Olga. The International Fellowship of Christians and Jews and that staff, they lifted her spirits and they reminded her she's not forgotten. Today, thousands of elderly Jews across Ukraine and the former Soviet Union face similar struggles. Their homes are fragile against the cold, their resources are scarce, and their health is fragile too. For them, winter is not just a season, but a fight for survival. Learn more at urgentifcj.org. That's one word, urgentifcj.org.
Merry Christmas from the Farmers State Bank in Oakley. We invite you to stop into our lobby for coffee and cookies throughout the month of December as our small way of saying thank you to our loyal customers. We appreciate your business in 2025 and throughout our 118 years of community banking and look forward to serving you in the new year. Farmers State Bank of Oakley, member FDIC.
With NWKS Radio News, I'm Connor Schuh. The Kansas Department of Transportation has made some updates to its CanDrive road and weather app to help assist Kansas motorists. Among those updates are hands-free alerts and incident reports you can make through Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Sherry Hilliard, KDOT's project manager, said informed drivers can make better decisions about which routes are best for them with the app. The CanDrive features were first introduced in 2024 and have been fine-tuned for a better user experience. They were developed as part of the US 83 Advanced Technology Project, which extends the South Finney County line to the northern Thomas County line. Some CanDrive enhancements are corridor-specific to US 83, but most are available for statewide use. Some other new features include hands-free voice incident reporting and high wind and weather and slow-moving vehicle alerts. For these and other stories, go to nwksradio.net.
Today we're going to see well above average temperatures with highs in the mid to upper 60s due to downsloping southwest winds turning to the northwest. 20 to 30 miles per hour with gusts this evening, up to 45 as a weak cool front passes by. Then some clouds will increase. Lows will be around 30. Then tomorrow it'll be cooler but remain slightly above normal with highs in the upper 40s to low 50s. No significant precipitation is expected. Maybe a few flurries or sprinkles north of Highway 36. It'll be mostly cloudy in the morning, then clearing in the afternoon with west-northwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Lows will be mild above freezing. Then Thursday will be very warm again with highs in the mid to upper 60s. Westerly downsloping winds continuing ahead of another clipper system and cold front Friday morning. Lows will cool around 30. Then Friday's highs will be in the upper 30s to low 40s with some clouds. This meteorologist Chris Schromick, the NWKS Radio Weather Center.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pest Away in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pest Away today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
Need a porta potty or septic pumping in Northwest Kansas? Call Topside Portables and Pumping, your local family-owned crew. They've got clean, reliable toilets for weddings, farms, and job sites, plus full septic services, RV waste, fertilizer tanks, and more. Available 24/7, because when nature calls, they answer. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. Reliable, local, clean.
This holiday season, jolly old St. Nick and his helpful elves at Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware are stocked up and ready to make Christmas merry and bright. From festive decor and handy tools to gift cards and great stocking stuffers, they've got something for everyone. Go bigger with Traeger or Weber grills or even Blackstone griddles, Yeti coolers, or powerful Ego snowblowers that make winter easy. Make holiday shopping simple. Shop local at Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby.
Fall is here, and so are big savings at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Get a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation up to $7,000 off with eligible GMC loyalty. Check out the 26 GMC Arcadia 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. On the Chevy side, the 2026 Equinox is 0% APR, and the 26 Colorado Trail Boss gets $500 customer cash or 3.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. Harvest the savings this fall at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Online at hurlchev.com.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland, and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4!
It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
The amount of money getting thrown around to quarterbacks who haven't done diddly squat is amazing to me.
And Connor Schuh.
He's a new guy.
The High Plains only local sports talk show, broadcasting live on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!
Covering it all from the preps.
He's at the 10, the 5, he dives for the end zone, he's in! Touchdown, Cowboys!
To the pros.
Line drive, left field, base hit! Here comes McMahon, he'll score! Ball game!
The Blitz is presented by Hurl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank. Along with
Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell, the Insurance Agency, Pest Away LLC, Topside Portables and Pumping, and the Farmer State Bank in Oakley.
Let's go to work.
Nate Johnson picks it out of the air and pushes it far side. To the middle he goes. Back to the right. PJ spots up for three. Swish! Here's the lob out front. Castillo. Left side. Bashir again. Got it again. Abdi Bashir with 15, and that's 5 long-distance balls.
Here they go. 3rd and 1. They fake the tush push. It's a snap to Hurts. They give it out to Barkley. Running on the far side. 50. Sideline 40. Cheek to the 30. 20. 10. 5. Touchdown! Saquon Barkley like a rocket. Eagles at the 17 of the Chargers. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap. Hurts. Hit as he throws. Pass to the 5. Deflected. It's intercepted. It's intercepted. The Chargers have won.
And good Tuesday morning, everybody. We are here on the Morning Blitz, broadcasting Goodland's Rock at 102.5, NWKSradio.net, and the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream. No matter what way you are listening or watching, thank you so much for doing so here on this Tuesday, December the 9th. Going to be a warm one today. 66. I mean, get out your shorts and T-shirts, people. It'll be a warm one today.
It's December. It shouldn't be like this.
It shouldn't be, but this is welcome to the roller coaster that we're going to be on here for the next few days. I mean, warm days today. I think today's the highest. And we drop 15 degrees tomorrow, and then back up to almost 70 on Thursday, and then temperatures below 50, and temperatures pretty much around cooler, more winter-like temperatures in the 40s and 50s for the foreseeable future. But next 2 out of 3 days, temps in the 60s, folks. So get out your shorts and T-shirts. And so I remember a couple of years ago, wasn't that long ago, I was sitting on my back patio on Christmas Day. I was actually watching TV on my back patio on Christmas Day. Like it was honestly that nice, and it was like probably 60 degrees on Christmas Day.
Jeez. That's.
Do you always experience a white Christmas? Do you always experience a white Christmas where you're at?
Absolutely not. We did pretty much every year up until like 2020, 2021-ish, and then it's not quite as warm as it's been here, but it's been warmer. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, it is certainly going to be a warm one the next couple of days. So, but I think cooler temperatures are coming. We'll see. It's not looking like, at least in the far future forecast, like we're going to have too much of a white Christmas. I might just be a dry one. Well, I guess we'll have to find out more here in the coming days. But as of right now, it's not looking like we're going to have much for snow during the holiday season, nonetheless. Full show ahead today. We will be talking with Jared Stanford, head coach of the Colby Community College men's basketball team, picked up their first conference victory here this past weekend. Of course, Connor was there to witness that all in its glory. We will get some thoughts and some college football playoff. We had our complaints yesterday about the CFP and what happened with Notre Dame getting left out, but we didn't really talk about the bracket. I mean, it's a very interesting bracket this year, because it features 2 teams from the group of 5, James Madison and Tulane. But we'll get some thoughts on that. We will also recap our picks here in just a little bit. So lots of things to get to on today's program. As always, the F&B Bank text line is open for your thoughts and comments and questions at 785-899-2222. If you'd like to be part of the Morning Blitz, would love to hear from you throughout the program. Connor, how you feeling today? Good? Well rested?
Yeah, but I'm still holding on to something from yesterday. I was referred to as an old man.
From who?
So, that Christmas parade that happened in Colby Saturday, right?
Yes.
So apparently Redonda's son saw me in the truck next to Joel, and he said, Joel was in the truck next to this old guy. I don't know who it was. And I'm like, I don't think I look old. Like,
it's the facial hair, apparently.
I don't think it makes me look much older. I think I still look like,
apparently to kids it does. Apparently to people 5-6 years younger than you, apparently it does.
It's crazy to me,
because he's not that much younger than you are, to be honest.
I know, it's like 6-year difference tops. I mean, I feel like it's aging me.
He was next to some old guy. Yeah, the old guy Connor. He's like an old Schuh. The old Schuh. That's gonna be great. So. The old Schuh, Connor Schuh.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Don't worry. You don't look that old.
Don't
take it personally. So it'll be all right. You're still a youthful, 22, right?
22. Yes.
22. Yeah. A youthful 22. So you'll be just fine. Today, last night, I should say, I want to start off with some stuff on the hardwood. Kansas State gets off the schneid. They end a 4-game losing skid. They blast Mississippi Valley State. They covered. So that guy who was thinking about placing that $1 million bet for K-State not to cover, could have lost a lot of money right there. But Mississippi Valley State and K-State duked it out last night at Bramlage, and Kansas State winning 108-49. PJ Haggerty, 11 of 14 shooting, 28 points, hit 5 threes. David Castillo had 19 points off the bench. Abdi Bashir knocked in 5 triples of his own. So 19 total threes. They shot 53% from three-point land, get off of this bad spot. I admit I did not watch any of this game last night. I did not really want to watch it. I figured I checked the score initially thinking, well, is Mississippi Valley State even in it? And they were down by like 15 early. So I thought, yeah, this game's over. K-State's going to get this done against, as you said yesterday, you're like, it's one of the worst basketball programs in the country.
They are.
Valley State.
I actually have the net rankings open right now, and they are last.
Dead last. So
Dead last.
K-State gets a win against the worst basketball team in the nation last night, 108-49. They get it done in very much convincing fashion. So you can take away what you want from that. There was one thing, I was listening to Coach Tang post game, and there was one thing that stood out to me about the win last night, and it stood out to him. And I'll play that for you. Coach Tang post game after the 108-49 win over the Delta Devils of Mississippi Valley State last night.
Yeah, well, when you move the ball, we have good shooters and good players, and when we move the ball, it allows us to get good shots. And we tried to get shots for our teammates today rather than try to get our own shots, and that's something that we've been showing. And sometimes you have to get to a point where you're willing to say, okay, coach, whatever we need to do, we're gonna do. And we were at that point, so now it's about getting ready for Creighton and see if now we can do it against a like opponent.
Those words it just sounded so much like I thought it would. I mean, it's amazing. Everyone's like, well, why is K-State losing these games? They've got such a talented team. Because they don't share the ball. You got a bunch of guys coming together that have been at places that were the ball dominant guards that needed their points. And then you put them all together on one team and they don't share it very well. Shocking that it doesn't go very good. Shocking. Everybody needs to know their roles on a basketball, on any team. Got to know your roles. And when you start over every single year and guys don't know their roles and previous role, and usually when their roles are, well, I was the leading scorer at, whatever, Monmouth. I was the leading scorer at Memphis. I was the leading scorer at wherever. Great. It doesn't usually come together very well, especially initially when you're playing with a whole bunch of guys that were that same people at another spot.
Absolutely. I gotta give K-State credit, though. Guess how many assists they have? They had last night.
It was a program record 30.
So you saw it.
I heard. Well, I listened to the post-game interview, and they talked about it. It was a program record 30 assists. They shared the ball.
Not bad.
And that's what you have to learn to do. But the problem is that's hard to do for a bunch of guys that have once again, for the last handful of years, have been the ball dominant guards. Can you become that team? And this is why, it used to be when teams came together, you'd have those initial problems, early in guys' career, but over the course of their career, like, well, I was the leading scorer in high school, but now I'm going to be more of the leading passer, or maybe I'm just going to be a rebounding guy because that's what they need me to do. You got to put all that together now instead of the course of multiple years in a few months. You got to get this all together for a team. And that's very, very hard to do. Very, very hard to do. And so that was the biggest thing that stood out to me. Oh, K-State had success because they shared the basketball. Shocking. Shocking. That's what happened there last night. So they've got Creighton coming up here on Saturday. That's their next game. Tough place to play at the CHI Health Center there up in Omaha. But I'm telling you, after watching Creighton this past Sunday, K-State can win that game if they go up there and they play to their potential. Now, do they? I don't know, but they could.
Maybe. You ever been to a game there?
Yes, I have.
Nice. Good atmosphere.
Yeah, it's a good atmosphere. It's a good atmosphere. Nice, great atmosphere. But Creighton is not the Creighton of old. It's like Freaky Friday. So Freaky Friday, right?
Yeah.
Where the two people switch and they're separate. That's what happened to Nebraska and Creighton on Sunday. It's like they touched fingers and they swapped. Nebraska became Creighton and Creighton became Nebraska. That's what it looked like. So.
Very bizarre.
Oh, it was so weird. Creighton shooting 3 balls that went off the side of the backboard is so weird. When usually you'd watch Creighton be like, oh my gosh, he has a foot. It's in. And it was.
They lost so many guys.
They did. They were an older team, very much older team last year. Kolkbrenner and Ashworth and all these guys. They've all
Ashworth can shoot it.
But they're all gone, and so it's a bunch of younger guys that and transfers. And I think their best player is out for the year with an injury. I think it's Jackson McAndrew, I think is his name.
That's right.
He's out with an injury for the year. So, K-State. My point being, K-State has a chance to win if they can go up there and continue this deal. Also, one more point before we move on. Jerome Tang has you don't know this, but people who've listened to the show would probably know this. If you listen to Coach Tang, like his first couple of years being the head coach, he would come on the post game and be like really chipper, he would always start his conversation, with like, well, Wyatt Thompson would be like, well, your guys went out there and played well today, really shared the ball well, and Coach Tang, I really want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and we really played. He would always start like that. That's exactly how he would start, and now it's a beaten down man. You just listen to him as he goes, well, we shared the ball better today. That's why if we do this, we're going to be – he's just a beaten down man.
It's been a long past couple of years for him.
Has. It has been tough on Jerome Tang. It's been tough on him, and you hear it in his voice. And he probably feels it, He probably feels it. He thinks that the last couple of years he's put together this great team, and it has not resulted in anything. And guess what? And he knows that, we beat Mississippi Valley State, whatever, whoop-de-doo.
That doesn't matter.
That doesn't really matter. Anybody could have. Sisters of the Blind could have beat them, apparently. So, yeah, it's a beaten down Jerome Tang. It just
I could put up some points against them.
Oh, you could, huh? There you go.
Who knows?
Connor Schuh out there. He's playing with Roast Beef State.
I'm a pickup warrior.
He's standing in the corner, jacking up threes left and right, probably.
That's the role.
I'm open. Yep, everybody's dream. So K-State winners last night, 108-49. Also last night, Monday Night Football, the Chargers in overtime over the Eagles, 22-19. Philadelphia has dropped, I think it's 4 in a row. Gosh darn it. Why did I remember that? 22-19, the final score last night. They have lost 3 in a row, have the Philadelphia Eagles. Just the toughness of Justin Herbert stood out to me. He had surgery less than a week ago on his hand. He didn't throw it very much, but he did run for 66 yards with a surgically repaired hand. And the other thing that stood out to me was the turnovers by Jalen Hurts. 4 interceptions, not to mention the fumble.
Oh, did you see the play?
Oh, I did. In fact, for those who didn't, there was a crazy play last night. It was history in the NFL.
Blitz over the defense, shotgun snap, 5-man rush, Blitz is on pass. It's intercepted up the middle at the 20. Coming to the near side, 25. Then the players hit. The ball's yard free. Hurts picked it up. He loses the ball. The ball's rolling near sideline. Recovered at the 45. It looks like as they try to untangle the bodies, the Chargers have gotten the ball.
Yeah, so Jalen Hurts throws a pick to a big. It's a thick interception, a thick man pick.
Deshaun Hand.
He goes rumbling down the field. He gets stripped. The ball bounces into Jalen Hurts, who then tries to pick it up and for some reason throw it. I think he was trying to cock and throw it out of bounds.
I think he just lost it.
And then he fumbled the ball, which then it was recovered by a linebacker there for the Chargers.
That was bad.
The first time it's ever happened where a player has turned it over twice in the same play.
That was an absolute just joke of a play, a microcosm of the game.
Cue the clowns come in.
Yeah, it was awful.
Oh, so anyway, the Chargers get the win. And I tell you, their postseason odds improved. I think with the loss, they were going to they had like a 45% chance of making the postseason. With the win, their odds of making the postseason jump up to like 75% or something around that.
Makes sense.
Win last night there, but Chargers get the win over the Eagles 22-19. Before we get to picks, I did also want to mention this. I forgot to mention this yesterday because I forgot it started yesterday. But yesterday, of course, and this whole week is early season tournament week here in the state of Kansas. The topside tip-off here in Goodland gets going on Thursday. The Sagebrush Shootout, which is in Brewster, which has been a full week tournament, is now starting Thursday, Friday, Saturday over in Brewster. The Castle Rock Classic gets going today. But yesterday, the Purple and Gold tournament in Waukene took place, and Hoxie girls won their first round contest over Northern Valley 69-22. Hoxie boys also played Northern Valley in the first round. They lost 56-46. Both Indian teams will face Osborne on Thursday. Girls in the championship semifinals, boys in the consolation semifinals. All that happening on Thursday night. Mentioned the Castle Rock Classic is today. Quinter boys and girls against Pawnee Heights. Rollins County boys and girls against Wheatland Grinnell. Oakley girls versus Logan Palco. Oakley boys versus Dighton. And then Decatur Community plays up in the Cattle Trail tournament in McCook, Nebraska. Boys get Medicine Valley. Girls take on Southwest for games today for area Northwest Kansas schools. With the tournament week in full swing, pretty much beginning on Thursday, there'll be lots more action happening there. But I want to get those out real quickly. All right, let's get to picks of the weekend real quick. A quick recap of picks. This is not going to be pretty, so everyone plug your ears. Especially for me. I know it's not pretty.
Okay. All right. So I'm not going to throw out the exact numbers on what we got this week, but I will say I've inched much closer.
Oh, you should have.
I'll say that.
All right. What was my record? It was.
You want to know off the rip?
No, I guess we'll wait. I'll do the math in my head. Go ahead. What do you got?
Okay. All right. We'll start with Texans Chiefs, who are favored by 3.5. I had the Texans covering. They did just that. You had the over. It was 41.5. I'm pretty sure the final was 20-10. So that did not hit.
Did not hit.
All right. Broncos at Raiders. We both had Denver covering. They did not. Raiders lost by exactly a touchdown. Half a point. Missed. Unfortunate.
Bad beat right there.
Couple of college basketball pick'ems. We both had KU beating Missouri. They did just that. Seton Hall at K-State. We both had K-State winning. I took a chance, and I almost thought about Seton Hall winning because they've been hot, but I didn't trust my gut. I should have. Creighton at Nebraska. I had Nebraska winning. They beat the crap out of Creighton. You had Creighton winning.
Yep.
Colts favored by 1.5 at the Jags. I had the Jags winning. They did. You had the Colts winning. Daniel Jones is out for the season, and they lost with Riley Leonard at quarterback. And now they're trying out Phillip Rivers, who's 44 years old.
Can you believe that? 44-year-old Phillip Rivers is going to do a tryout for the Colts. He's a grandfather.
I know. He's 14 kids, too. Unbelievable. Bears at Packers. I had the Bears covering. They missed that by half a point. They lost by a touchdown. Caleb Williams threw a pick in the end zone to end that one. And you had the Packers winning. So got that one. Indiana at Ohio State. Oh, God. We both had Ohio State covering, and Indiana covered by like 8 points, won by 3. Georgia, 2.5 at Alabama. I had Georgia winning. I went really conservative on it. They did that, and you had them covering, which they did easily. BYU at Texas Tech. I saw this one coming based on the first game. I had Texas Tech covering. They did by a lot. You had BYU covering.
I felt good in the first quarter. Not much after that.
It was close for a bit. And then this one was surprising. North Texas at Tulane. We both had North Texas covering. They did not. And Tulane was up by like 20 at one point. And they won by, I think, 2 touchdowns.
They dominated.
Duke at Virginia. You got this one. Devils won. I had Virginia covering. They did not. Duke, good on them. They didn't get the CFP bid, but they had a good win.
God, could you imagine? Duke's had a 7-5 record.
Hey, Darian Mensah had a good year. I'll give it to him.
Down. Highest paid quarterback in college football, so they said.
That's incredible, but I think it was warranted. He actually had a pretty good year. A little underrated, I would say. But the final pick, UNLV at Boise State, was favored by 4.5. I had Boise covering, and they beat the brakes off UNLV. You had UNLV winning. They did not. So your final numbers for this week, Ross, you were 4-9. And I was 7-6. And now I'm only
winning
2 wins behind you. You're 52-60. I am 50-62 on this. We'll call it season.
Yeah. Jeez. Got to make up for it in the CFP.
Yes.
We got to make it up for it there. It's a bad weekend for you, boy. Oh, that was tough. Well, congratulations on the win this week in the picks.
Thanks. It's my first in a while.
I sat down at the end of Sunday. I was like, boy, it's going to be a bad picks recap for me. I know I did not do good.
Yeah, not your best, but
nope,
bounce back next week.
It was poor. That's all right. You're going to have those weeks. You just got to try to avoid not to put your money on those weeks. That's the thing.
Yes.
All right, we'll get to a break early here. When we come back, Jared Stanford's going to join us, Colby Community College head men's basketball coach. We will talk with him about the season that has been for CCC basketball next here on the Morning Blitz on this Tuesday.
When fraud strikes, every second counts. At FNB Bank, we take your security seriously. Our local team monitors for suspicious activity and responds fast, so small issues don't turn into bigger problems. I'm Jessica Von Little at FNB Bank. We are your first line of defense, protecting you, your money, and your peace of mind. FNB Bank, local, trusted, here for you. Member FDIC.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland, and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning. This is Tom Saluto with the Anderson Trade Group with your overnight market report on December the 9th. In the overnight session, March corn was unchanged at $4.44, May corn unchanged at $4.51.5, and July corn unchanged at $4.57 3/4. January soybeans were down 4.5 at $10.89. March soybeans were down 4 at $11.01, and May soybeans were down 4 at $11.12. Kansas City hard red winter wheat March was down 1 at $5.25. KC May wheat was down 1 at $5.36, and July KC was down 1 at $5.49. The Dow Jones is currently down 40 points at 47,752. The S&P is down 5 points at 6,850. NASDAQ is down 47 points at 25,616. Gold is up 13 points at 4,231 an ounce, and crude oil is slightly down at 58.77 a barrel. If you're out in the Colorado area and have any grain to market or risk management questions, please call John Hanke or John Stiles at 970-744-4484, or you can call the Overland Park office, myself, Tom Saluto, Jared Ball, or Tyler Ghosh at 913-748-3000. Thank you.
What's on your to-do list? Check your mail? Get groceries? How about getting your annual vaccines? We can help you check that off.
You've got this.
Yes, you do. Because we've got you. With local vaccine events and access to transportation, protecting yourself and your loved ones is not a chore anymore.
You've got this.
A message from the Aging and Disability Vaccination Collaborative, powered by U.S. Aging. Funded by the U.S. Administration for Community Living through a grant to U.S. Aging. Learn more at yougotthis.usaging.org.
30.
At nationalguard.com/KS. Sponsored by the Kansas Army National Guard. Aired by the Kansas Association of Broadcasters and this station.
From the locker room to your morning commute, it's all sports, all the time.
That's what I'm talking about. Sport!
On the Morning Blitz.
I'm a man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission.
Well, we're having trouble getting a hold of Coach Stanford at this point in time, so not picking up the phone, which is fine. I understand things that happen from time to time. So I guess we'll have to pivot here on the show, which is perfectly fine. We will pivot. We'll talk a little college football playoff bracket thoughts here as we continue on the Morning Blitz. So yesterday, of course, we spent a ton of time discussing the discussing, of course, the snub that was Notre Dame and Alabama getting in, which has caused a lot of things. I'm actually quite intrigued to hear what Notre Dame has to say today. Their athletic director is having a press conference today. I'm actually kind of fascinated because he said that ACC has done permanent damage to Notre Dame. Those are his exact words. So I'm actually quite fascinated to see what he's going to say today. Part of me wants him to say, thanks, ACC. We are cutting ties with you. We will no longer be a part of your conference, and we are going to the Big Ten or wherever they may want to go, I guess.
I got to ask you if you saw what he said yesterday about next year's playoff. He said,
yes, I did see that.
Oh,
there's a deal in there. Explain it for those who did not see it. But there's a clause in this deal.
Yes. So
in the CFP, there's a clause.
Notre Dame, basically, their AD, who I think is also on the CFP board, because of course he is, he has a deal with the College Football Playoff Committee that if Notre Dame finishes in the top 12 of the final CFP rankings or what have you, they will be guaranteed a spot in the College Football Playoff. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. What are we doing? That sets an awful precedent for college football. I hate that.
But my point, I guess, so if they finish number 12 next year, if we're just breaking this down, let's just think about this. So let's say next year they finish 12th with 2 losses, kind of like what they did this year, or maybe it's 3 losses. I don't think they can finish probably in 12th with 3 losses.
No.
Let's say they can finish 12th with 2 losses. Next year they finish 12th. Who are they going to kick out is my question in the form of that, because
I've got you. So if it was this year, let's say Miami would be out, basically, because they were the lowest seeded team that made it in that wasn't a group of 5 squad, which would also make no sense because Miami beat them. So, I mean, come on.
Yeah. Michael says, won't matter. CFP will have 16 teams next season because of this fiasco, which Michael's probably right. I think they are going to probably go to 16 teams. But guess what? Then they'll be griping about the 17th team.
Yep. It's never going to stop. I mean, add all the teams you want. It's not going to change people complaining.
Yeah. I don't love that either. But for Notre Dame, once again, they get special treatment for whatever reason. Whether that's because they carry this national brand recognition or whatever, or they're kind of like the I have nothing against Notre Dame, so I kind of feel bad saying this, but they're a Ponzi scheme, where they talk themselves up so much to where people believe that they're really, really good. Like the SEC does. They do that all the time. I saw that clause, but I'm really fascinated to see what is said today. I've almost liked to hear him say, well, we're leaving the ACC. We're going to look for some other affiliate to work with or something like that, because it'd be just funny. I feel like the ACC and the Big Ten is Notre Dame is kind of an odd fit. But Notre Dame feels so Big Ten schoolish that
they're right in the exact Big Ten area.
Think about all their who is like Notre Dame's main rivalries. I was thinking about this.
USC.
USC is one of the big rivals. Michigan is one of those teams that's kind of a rival with them a little bit.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, to an extent. I mean, I don't get why you wouldn't join the Big Ten. You've got these rivalries.
You don't like Ohio State
so much.
Here's that.
Who does? Besides you. I mean, no one else likes Ohio State.
Ohio State fans.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us.
That's all there are. We know. Andy, F&B Bank text line. Why did Ole Miss not get penalized for missing half of their coaching staff? They got a non-Power 4 opponent first game. Florida State did and Florida State did get penalized for missing one single player. Never mind. Maybe it was just Lane Kiffin. I don't know. And they didn't penalize Ole Miss. It's pretty much a Lane Kiffin deal. I think that's the reason why they didn't get penalized for that.
It's the same players on the field. And I mean, Florida State got penalized because it was their Heisman candidate quarterback. And I still think they shouldn't have gotten penalized because they still won the games.
It's fine. It was going to be interesting if they were going to get surprised. I think the offensive staff, for the most part, is back.
Yeah.
The offensive staff is back. All the defensive staffs hung around. They're sticking around underneath Golding, the new head coach there at Ole Miss. So that's all sticking together at this point in time. So, looking at the bracket, college football playoff bracket. So the first top 4 seeds get buys. That would be Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, and Texas Tech. All get first round buys. So starting off on what is the 19th and 20th is when this will all get going. The 5th ranked Oregon Ducks take on the 12th seed James Madison, which we'll have to visit with the voice of the Dukes. I am good friends with the voice of the Dukes. We'll have to have him on the program and talk about the James Madison making the college football playoff and what that run has been like. Alabama, Oklahoma, a rematch game from earlier this year. Tulane, Ole Miss, another rematch game from earlier this year. And Miami, Texas A&M, also a rematch game from earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken. Did Texas A&M Miami play?
We can check that.
I'm going to fact check.
That sounds right.
I want to make sure. I could be wrong on that. I want to double check that. They did. No, they did not. I stand corrected. They both played Notre Dame, and that's probably why we're having this.
And they both beat them.
How about that? Yep. So it's the defeaters of Notre Dame Bowl happening there between Miami and Texas A&M. Any thoughts just on some of these games that are going to take place here in a couple weeks?
I guess I don't really mind how it shook out, but I forgot about Ole Miss playing Tulane earlier this year, and that was a 45-10.
Yeah, it was a beatdown
victory. We'll see if things are maybe a little different with Tulane on a bit of a hot streak, and I think their coach Sumrall is sticking the season out.
Yes, I believe.
If I'm not mistaken, and I think that definitely helps teams like this because
is Bob Chesney doing the same thing at JMU?
He is, yes.
Yeah,
because I don't think they would have just dominated in that conference championship game like they did without him. But that's interesting. I think JMU could maybe give Oregon some problems. I don't think they're going to beat them or anything, but they could give them a run for their money. That might be a touchdown game. And I mean, I think all of these have potential to be close matchups, but there's obviously a more likely world where Texas A&M is just angry coming off their last game against Texas, and they beat the brakes off Miami, and Carson Beck gets picked off like 5 times. So I could see that. Even with Ole Miss, I could see them beating up on Tulane all over again because they're reinvigorated after what Lane Kiffin did. And from what I've seen on social media from players, they're all rallying around Pete Golding, and they're big fans of the guys. So I don't know, maybe Ole Miss makes a sneaky little run. It'd be tough to get by Georgia, but you never know.
I don't know. I'm telling you, this. The more I look at this bracket, the more like James Madison Oregon game is 21.5 point spread at this point in time. It's a 3 touchdown game, and the Tulane Ole Miss is 17.5. I mean, what if these games are just blowouts?
It's possible.
I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Tulane or James Madison. I mean, they had great seasons. I don't want to take anything away from them. And I don't want to say that they don't deserve to be in there because I want inclusion. I want people to be included that have had great seasons. They should be rewarded for that. I think probably, and we're going to find out, I'm guessing after this year, and I could be wrong. And honestly, I kind of hope I am wrong, but I think we're going to find out after this year that, okay, maybe a group of 5 needs to just stick to just one team, one school, the best group of 5 team needs to be in there, and that's it. If someone just gets their hat handed to them in this first round and it ends up being that beat down, but you can say what you want. SMU went to Penn State and got their hat handed to them, last year. That was a beat down, so.
And on top of that,
I guess
Boise State, the final score doesn't look great, but last year I remember in the quarterfinal, they hung with Penn State for a majority of that game. I mean, they won 31-14, but Boise they were there the whole time. So I think that's your argument. And then obviously different sport, but college basketball, I mean, mid-majors get chances all the time in March Madness, and we see them win a lot. So why not let the G5 programs?
It's a different game, though. It's
a
totally in basketball. Hey, a team goes out there and gets hot from 3, and honestly, if you think about it, that's the reason why upsets have happened more and more. Is the point line,
and that's definitely more likely in basketball for just by the nature of the game, but it can still happen in football. You can get busted coverages. A quarterback can get hot. Like things like that happen. It's like these guys are not slouches and they want to prove themselves against these teams and they're getting a second crack at it. I like it. And if they get blown out, so be it.
Yeah, we'll just see. I mean, once again, I don't know. I think James Madison has a very long way to fly to go play at Oregon, which will be a very difficult against a much more talented team, top to bottom, than they are. I think that's a very tough matchup. I think that game is probably, like it says, probably the wider spread margin game of any of them. Tulane, Ole Miss, Miami, Texas A&M be a little bit better of a game. That Oklahoma Alabama game is fascinating because the winner gets Indiana, and that's intriguing to me.
Might be a death sentence.
Could you imagine? Just imagine this. Imagine Alabama somehow, some way beats Oklahoma, which I don't think is a complete crazy thought here. But Oklahoma, didn't they beat Bama? Yeah, Oklahoma beat Bama earlier this year. But let's just say Bama beats Oklahoma, and they go and play Indiana, and Indiana beats Alabama. Could you imagine if you're Indiana and you have gone from the cellar of the Big Ten to all of a sudden knocking off Ohio State in a conference championship game and then beating what was the power, the Death Star underneath Nick Saban, Alabama, within a matter of a month? That'd just be, I don't know if my mind could compute that.
It's pretty impressive.
Blow my mind.
I mean, I think we mentioned it yesterday, but we haven't seen a turnaround in college football like this. I mean, I don't know if I can really think of an example that's similar to this ever. I don't know if you can, but this is like
the only one that comes to mind. But once again, to me, the difference is the time frame.
So quick.
I mentioned that Bill Snyder, when he came and took over a K-State program, which was atrocious.
There is that. Yeah.
It was atrocious. And he took over it and he led it close to being on the doorsteps of a national championship. Came very, very close. But that took multiple years. That took time to build that program over the course of years. To have it be done in a 2-year span, go from the cellar dweller to being number one in the nation in a 2-year span is unbelievable.
And they made the playoff last year in the first year after winning 3 games the year before with Tom Allen. That's insane.
Which honestly, I think I believe it. I believe that more because it's kind of like, beginner's luck. I mean, not that that's what it is, but it's kind of like beginner's luck a little bit. Well, they had a very easy schedule, which they did last year. And they took advantage of it. Kudos to them. A lot of teams can't do that, but they took advantage of it. And then they lost in the first round of the playoff. Hey, great story. Great. So they took advantage of an easy schedule. Things fell to place. Awesome for Indiana. Then they turn around, and by the way, they get a brand new quarterback. They bring in some other things, and it works even better against a much tougher schedule that included games at Oregon, games at Penn State, a much tougher schedule, and yet they still find a way to win. That's the thing that blows my mind.
It's pretty incredible.
When on the docket, on the schedule, that game should be circled for other teams. Like Oregon's like, well, here comes Indiana, and they were in the playoff last year. It kind of makes me wonder if teams were still not buying into it yet. And they better buy into it now if they aren't, because they should have been. But
maybe
Indiana's got them all bamboozled or fooled, whatever you want to call it, and they are doing some amazing things here this run. But we'll see what all shakes out. We'll make some predictions on this as we get closer. Our predictions on how this all goes, but just some thoughts on the bracket here as we push forward. Quickly, the FB Bank text line, 785-899-2222. Jared H. chimes in today. He goes, he has a college football playoff plan. Blow up the committee without conference representation. Feels lessens the bias. 16-team bracket with 6 conference champs and 10 at-large teams. Reinstate the updated version of the BCS computer. I'll tell you what the part that I love about that the most, Jared, is a updated version of the BCS computer. I still think that's where the rankings need to come from.
It doesn't have bias.
Computer, because it does not have bias. It only goes off facts. And I really think that needs to be brought back into the system. Everyone hated the BCS, particularly the last few years when Nebraska got into the national championship game and got absolutely pulverized by Miami. You weren't even born yet. 2001.
Shout out to Eric Crouch.
Eric Crouch, baby. Heisman Trophy winner. Got absolutely just pounded by that Miami team that it was pretty much an NFL roster. It was ridiculously talented.
I think they had 30 guys who made it to the league.
It was ridiculous how talented they were. It's funny to listen to stories of Nebraska coaches talking about that. They're like, we knew going in, we were in some serious trouble. So
they knew.
But they hate it. They hate it. The people have hated the BCS ever since, pretty much because of that. But you know what? I think it needs to be brought back. I think we need to have computer rankings that do this, and then you seed your bracket, no matter how many teams you want to go to. I think at some point in time you have to draw a line and say, well, I just don't know if this team deserves to be in a playoff. And
Yeah.
where that is, I guess I don't know. Because if let's just say for fun, we went and did a bracket ranking with 16 teams. Here are the teams that got left out that would be in: Notre Dame, BYU, Texas, Vanderbilt. Let's see who else. Those are 4. So that would get us to 16 teams. Yeah, Vanderbilt, Texas, BYU, Notre Dame. That would add a lot more. Now, here's the thing: those teams are all very. Do you think those teams are deserving of being in the college football playoff?
They'd probably
Texas, Vanderbilt.
Most of them would probably be competitive. I'd like, honestly, out of that whole field, I'd like Vanderbilt or Notre Dame the most. BYU's a little sketchy just because each time they've played like a legit team, that being Texas Tech, or legit, you could say playoff team, they've gotten the doors blown off. So I don't know about them. I mean, I liked BYU a lot, but I think Vandy and Notre Dame would have the best chance out of those teams to make some noise. Maybe Texas with their defense, but Arch Manning was pretty like up and down throughout the year. So, and well, they still beat Texas A&M. So that's, I mean, that's something. So
yeah, I mean, I guess I wouldn't feel terrible if they were at 16 teams this year. I wouldn't feel like anybody got in there that didn't deserve to be in there.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Past that, you got Utah, who's 10-2, by the way. Then you get to the 9-3 teams of USC, Arizona, Michigan, Virginia, Houston, things like that. And those teams probably aren't deserving it. You just don't want it to become this humongous thing where, you know, our teams getting in that don't deserve it. But at the same time, even if you open it up and everybody has to play a game and no one gets a first round bye, you just don't know what happened. Look what happened this past weekend in the FCS level. Illinois State went to South Dakota State in the Fargo Dome, and upset them.
Anything can happen.
I mean, anything can happen if you get a little bit crazy, and particularly more today than in previous years of college football because of the transfer portal and the amount of talent that's getting to and roster limits. You know, with rosters that used to be 150 on a team, now have to get pared down to 105 or whatever it may be. You know, those players that were on there as walk-ons or gray shirt guys, they're now going someplace else to get a full ride to play. And they're making other teams better. So
simple as that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not against the 16-team playoff, particularly after this year, because I do believe that Notre Dame probably is a team that could have made it to the Final Four this year. They had enough talent to do that, and they're not even in it. And I think that's a sad deal. And I would have loved to have seen Diego Pavia be in that spot. Would have loved to have seen it. Speaking of Diego Pavia, transition. We'll take a break. We come back. The Heisman finalists have been announced. Where are you putting all your eggs in the Heisman with the Final Four? Next here on the Tuesday edition of the Morning Blitz.
This season, the Mile High Magic is live on Rocket 102.5. Every hit, every pick, every end zone dance, we've got it all.
5-man pressure. Rodgers hit before he throws it. Sack. P.J. Locke bounced up into the air, bounced again, and then caught by Devon Vele. Touchdown, Denver.
Brought to you by
Vince's GM Center, Proxy Feed Yard Imperial Beef, Simbelman Jewelry, Tubbs & Sons Ford Sales, F&B Bank, and Hurl Chevrolet GMC.
Your home for Denver Broncos football. Rocket 102.5.
This is Nancy LaPelle's office, and we would like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. With everything that's going on, we want you to know we are available to visit with you concerning your tax and financial needs. Stay well and be kind.
Northwest Kansas Families Head Start is now enrolling children birth to age 5 in communities across our area. They support learning, health, and family success. Call 785-672-3125 to see if you qualify. Every child deserves a strong start.
Build strong, build local. That's Miller's Construction, your independent chief builder located in Goodland. From farm shops to commercial buildings, they deliver quality, craftsmanship, and hometown pride. Miller Construction, built on trust, built to last.
From the Rehab Department at Goodland Regional Medical Center,
we are grateful that you continue to trust us with your care and wellness efforts.
We wish you all a holiday season of peace, joy, and better health. Happy holidays.
It's not just sports, it's your morning game plan.
I don't even believe you have a plan. I have part of a plan. That is not a plan.
This is the Morning Blitz.
Jared Stanford gets back to me, says, whoops, sorry, overslept. So we'll have, he forgot in his alarm, so it's all right. We will have Coach Stanford, and he says we'll try and do it tomorrow. So we'll try to get Coach Stanford on tomorrow. Have you visited with Coach Stanford much?
I haven't had a chance to yet.
He's an interesting guy. I like how he's worked his way up. He was a high school basketball coach for many years and then has kind of worked his way up. I always like the guys that take the long way, that aren't, it's just born on third base like some people.
Yeah.
The Heisman finalists have been announced. The final four: Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love, Ohio State quarterback Julian Sayin, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, and Diego Pavia, Vanderbilt quarterback. What do you think of the final four finalists?
I think it's fair. I mean, you could have put Marcel Reed in there over maybe one of those guys, take your pick. But, I mean, after the Texas loss, that kind of knocked him out of there. And I was going to say I'm surprised to still see Sayin in there, but he still played a solid game in the Big Ten championship. Obviously, they lost, but I think he's kind of out of it now. I think it's Mendoza, Pavia, Love, and Mendoza.
I think Sayin is a fourth placer right now.
He probably is at this point, and I hate to say it, but it's true. But Mendoza, I think, is probably your favorite. Has to be. I mean, he didn't play amazing in the Big Ten championship game, but he did enough, and he got the win, and I think that's going to elevate him for voters.
It's going to depend on when people voted, because some people throw their votes in early.
Yeah.
And some people wait. And I think if people who waited, they're probably going to throw Mendoza at the top, and he's going to. I think it's going to be really close. I really do. Like I think you're going to see Sayin grab a couple votes. Jeremiah Love is just going to have a few more votes than Sayin, and a majority are going to go between Diego Pavia and Fernando Mendoza. And I think it's going to come down to who voted early and who voted late. Because I think if people voted early, they're going with Diego Pavia. I really do. I honest to God, I hope. Sorry, not my. I hope that's what happens. Honestly, I hope they go with Pavia.
He's fun to watch.
But I am not going to take it. But I'm not going to be upset if it's Fernando Mendoza that wins it.
I get the Pavia hype, but it's
how is it hype?
There's I don't know if he's quite the Heisman favorite. I feel like he turned the ball over too much. And they didn't make the playoff. I feel like that's going to hurt him too.
Maybe that will hurt him. Maybe
people aren't going to give him as much love. I mean, granted, the numbers still pop out. I mean, over 800 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns on the ground. He led the SEC in completion percentage and passing touchdowns. It's pretty impressive. So, I mean, obviously, he's still right there for good reason. But there might be some bumps and bruises there. And then Jeremiah Love was, I mean, the engine of that Notre Dame team that probably should have made the CFP. So I think as a running back candidate, he's right in there.
He's going to get some votes, but he's not going to win it. I mean, unfortunately, this has become, to an extent, too consistently a quarterback-driven award.
Yeah.
And the way Fernando Mendoza has played, the way he's been, I mean, he's probably the favorite. And if I had to probably put money on it, I'd say he's probably going to win it, but by just an ever so slight margin. I think Diego Pavia. Once again, I just go back to this. You know, if you took Diego Pavia off of Vanderbilt, are they a 10-win football team?
No.
I don't think so. Are they even an 8-win football team?
Maybe.
That's the thing. Maybe. Not even. So you're saying he's worth at least 2 wins, if not more, just on his own.
And that's your big argument for Pavia right there. I mean, he's definitely elevated that team, but you don't know how much of that comes down to coaching too.
Oh, and I'm not trying to take anything away from
him.
Clarkley and he's done a great job at Vanderbilt. I think Pavia has just, if I was a voter, I would be voting for Diego Pavia. I just think that's the way he's been. Fernando Mendoza has been great, and he is right there on the cusp because I don't know what Indiana would be without him. And there were some plays made in that game against Ohio State where I was just like, yeah, that's a Heisman play. There were some great throws. And so, like I said, if there were people that were kind of on the fence but waited, then Fernando Mendoza is your winner. If there's people that voted early, they're going Pavia.
Was there anyone you thought got snubbed?
I don't think so. I mean, you mentioned Marcel Reed. I don't know if he was. I don't consider him. I don't think so. I don't think so. No. Is there anybody that you thought got snubbed?
Not off the top of my head necessarily. I still think Jeremiah Smith had a sniff at it. I thought, and he played incredible in the Big Ten championship. And granted, his numbers did get a little boost from that Hail Mary at the end, but still, he had a good game.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the four that are in there are the four that need to be in there. I mean, they have to fit certain qualifications. Your team has to be good, and you have to be a really good player. And I think all four of those guys fit into that. I just think two of them are way better than the other two and are going to take way more votes than the other two, and we'll see where it goes from there. So
way better.
They are way better.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. My point, maybe not. I'm not saying about talent wise, but what I'm saying is way better in the fact that they had to do more to carry their football teams. I will stand. I will rest on that hill that Julian Sayin is a good player, really good player, but he doesn't have to do very much because everyone around him is really, really good. Where I think Pavia and Fernando Mendoza have to do a whole lot more to make their teams good because they don't have as much talent around him like Ohio State does.
He does have the best supporting cast in terms of receivers.
It's not even close.
I don't know if you've seen the right side of that O-line, though, but it's rough.
It's full of 4 and 5 stars. I'm sure it's really rough for him.
They're not good.
On to the walk-off.
And back lifts his ball high, deep to right. How about a walk-off Brady? Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on the New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes swings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
Latest college basketball rankings are out in the AP Top 25. Kansas moving up a couple of spots up to number 19. Look who sneaks in at number 23. Nebraska Cornhuskers, a top 25 basketball program. You know how many years it's been since Nebraska basketball has been ranked? Please.
I saw the stat. What was it? It's like 5 or 6.
7 years.
Yeah.
Since Nebraska basketball has been ranked in the top 25. The problem is I can see this happening. They'll be at home against Wisconsin tomorrow and lose, and that's the end of the ranking. I hope not.
I was looking at, I don't know how much stock you put into this guy's takes, but Andy Katz did a little Big Ten power ranking, and he put Nebraska at 5 and Wisconsin was at like 9. I'm like, we'll see.
That's all I can say is we'll see. I got to see it.
Yeah.
Speaking of college hoops tonight, inside the Max Jones Fieldhouse, Fort Hays Tech Northwest at home hosting Barton Community College tonight. All right, that does it for the program. For Connor Schuh, I'm Ross Volkmer. We'll see you tomorrow back here on The Morning Blitz. Have a good one.